Today I will be pressure canning ground beef for Stocktober. Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today I'm going to be canning ground beef for Stocktober. So our local grocery store was having a sale on ground beef the other day, so we got 6 packages. They're 1 kilo for $10, which is a really good price here. Usually ground beef is around $15 and up for a family size package like this. Alright, so everyone's going in the pot to lightly brown. I don't like to can raw ground beef. It kind of just, I don't know, gets all clumpy in the jar. But I like the texture that this way gives, and also I like the little bit of color that adds to it. I could break it up as I go. If not, it's really hard once it starts to cook to get a good ground, be more chunky and stuff like that. So it's a really good way to break it up as you go. It's a good way to start out. Let's add some heat to it now, and I'll get the other 2 packages in. And here's the final one. I'm going to break this up as well. So I'm not cooking it all the way through. I'm just lightly browning it on the outside so it's not so gluey together. So I bought 6 packages, 1 kilo each, 6 kilos. So I'm hoping to get at least 6 quart jars. I already have a few pint size, but for larger meals like lasagnas and stuff that I can throw together, a quart size is a lot better. So for all my preserving that I do, a lot of it I grow at home, but a lot of it I also buy at the grocery store, and I wait for sales. That's when I stock up. The other day I did a video, I showed my Costco no frills haul, and the chicken breast was on sale. That was a really good price too, so we stocked up on that. I didn't can that, I froze those for different meal ideas. So for the month of October, Leisa over at Suttons Daze is running a collab for the month. It's called Stocktober. So it's all about stocking up your pantry, stocking up all your goods, whether it's food, whether it's firewood for your wood stove or fireplace. It's just a good idea all around to always be prepared and always stock up when you can. So you can see the meat's getting a little bit of color. The juices are coming to the top. It's just good. Still got a little bit to go. Not quite there yet. We want most of it to be brown. So you can see how the color is changing. All the juice and the fat is releasing from the meat. It's quite a bit of it. That's okay. This is all where all the flavor is. So it's almost ready to start canning into the jars. Okay, so the meat's now ready to start packing into the jars. A little juicy, but that's okay. I'll drain off. I guess just as much as you can. I'm not too worried about it. I do it the same way every time, and I always get good results. Find my packer. I like to pack it down a bit. That's one thing I didn't get. Not too hard, just a light tap. Okay, looking good. I certainly hope I get 6 jars. Now I will be adding some beef broth to the meat. I never can my meat without adding liquid. I don't like it. It goes gray. The texture's weird. I like to have my meat swimming in liquid. And now as I'm filling these, I'm thinking about the ways that I use them. Yes, I do use them for lasagna. I find that when I make lasagna, I'm using 2-pint jars, so this is why I wanted to use the quart size for that. It'd also be great if you're making soups, stews. I use the pint jars a lot when I'm making or quesadillas. So for my 4 jars, so it looks like I'm going to get 6 jars at least. So I'm happy with that. A lot of liquid in my pot now. That's okay. As I said, this was lean ground beef, so it is a little bit more drier, so I don't mind keeping some of the fat in. Besides, I like the layer of the fat that remains on top of the meat after the jars are done processing. Acts like a barrier. So I like that. Plus I think it looks pretty that way as well. But to each their own. You do you. This is me. I firmly believe fat adds flavor. So I'll be back when I get the rest of them done. Alright, so all the meat is in. Now I'm going to be adding my homemade beef broth that I made. I said I don't like to can meat. The only meat I can that I do not add any liquid to is salmon. And I do add a little bit of olive oil to the top of that. Not much. So chicken, beef, ground beef, roast beef, turkey, it's all swimming in liquid. Like I said, you do you. This USDA says not to add any liquid, but I like it. Plus it keeps it flavorful and moist. Nobody likes dried out ground beef or any other ground meat that there is. The chopstick, the liquid down. So this is 6 future lasagnas. This is what I'm reserving the quart size for. As I said, I got plenty of pint size and half pint of ground beef, but none of the quart size. Now these will process for 90 minutes. My elevation is under 1,000, so it will be 10 pounds of pressure. If you were doing pints, that's 75 minutes. Normally I would add salt, but I just realized I have no kosher salt left. The only salt I have left is salt with iodized. That's iodized, so I don't want to use that. So I'm okay with that. I will just season my meat when I open it. There. I got my vinegar and my cloth to wipe all the rims because this is greasy, so I want to have a good seal. Make sure you clean those rims really well. Now it's time for my flats. And then the rings, fingertip tight. To allow for venting during the canning process. There. And into the canner, they're ready. I have the 3 inches of water as per my canner instructions. So you do what your canner says. So they're all in there. I'll show you this. So here they are, all in the canner, ready to go. Get my lid on. Check. You see the light through the hole, and everything's good. Oh, I haven't turned it on yet. There we go. Bring that up to temperature. And I use the weighted gauge now. The little jiggler goes. This thing is absolute best. You don't have to stare at the reading as you do with the one that it came with. I highly recommend that you get this. You don't even have to check it. If you know your stove and the temperature you need to set it to, so it can process for the 30 minutes, 75 minutes, 90 minutes, whatever it is, you can literally set it and forget it. I still keep an eye on it because it is a pressure canner, but it's so much easier than it was with the other little thing that came with it. Hey guys, so my canner's almost ready to start timing the venting process for 10 minutes. You can see the steam is starting to come. I don't know if you can see a little bit. The little pet cup's going to pop soon. Steady stream of steam's coming. So any moment, once this little thing pops up, and this is quite steady, it's a 10-minute timer. So like I said, once the 10-minute timer goes off, I will then put the little thingamajigger on it, the jiggler, and then wait for it to come up to pressure, and then we will time it for 90 minutes once it comes to pressure for quart size. Pints, 75 minutes. Same for half pints. Here it's going to pop. So once it does that, it'll be ready to go. I got a good stream of steam coming out. I can hear it's boiling. So canning is pretty much a waiting process. It's always about waiting for it to pop, waiting for the steam, waiting for the timer, waiting for the cooling down process. But this process here is getting rid of all the air that's inside the canner and inside the jars. There. You see? Little pet cup popped. So now I can start my timer for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, the steam is going to vent out, and this is all part of your canning process. So this is all time that needs to be accounted for when you are canning, pressure canning anything. Alright, so the 10 minutes is up now. I'm going to put my little jiggly weight on it. There it goes. So it's going to come up to 10 pounds. But you already know that because it goes, this thing will jiggle. And then I'll adjust the heat, and then I'll set it for 90 minutes. There you can see it's doing this little hula dance. You can hear it going. That's 10 pounds of pressure. So now I'm going to adjust my heat so it can process for 90 minutes. I'll just keep an eye on that to make sure it doesn't drop under 10 pounds. And then I'll start the timer. Alright, so the timer is set. 90 minutes. This will process. For port size and for my elevation, 10 pounds of pressure. So I'll see you in an hour and a half. Welcome back, friends. So my 90 minutes is up. I'm going to turn off the burner and then just wait for this to come down off of pressure, natural. Now, I don't know if I said before, my weight is a 10-pound gauge for my elevation, and it did process for 90 minutes plus a 10-minute venting time. So now it's going to take quite a bit of time for it to come down before I can, for the gauge to go from 10 pounds to 0 pounds, and then a little bit longer than that to remove the weights. So I'll see you half hour, 45 minutes from now. Welcome back. The pressure canner has come off of pressure, so I'm going to remove the weight, and then I'm going to wait another 10 minutes. I think maybe I'll unlock it and then wait 10 minutes and then crack the lid a little bit to let all the excess steam vent, as it is getting quite late. It's 10 o'clock at night now, so I'm going to remove it. And I don't hear anything, so that's good. So it is completely off of pressure. I'll just twist it open. See, so I just unsealed it. I'm going to let it sit for a few more minutes before I crack the lid, so I don't want to go to bed with it not breathing for the night. I'll be back. Alright, so I'm going to take the lid off more, let the excess steam come out. Oh, looks good. A little bit of siphoning. That's to be expected because I did add the extra liquid. This here. Well, they're ready to come out. No, I did have a little bit of siphoning, so the jar is going to be a little bit greasy, but there you go. That's beautiful. Liquid stayed. It's a good level in there. That's how I like it. With all the meat to be covered. And when they cool down, they'll cool down with a fat ring. So they'll sit here on my counter overnight, then I'll wash them in the morning, remove the rings, and then put them away for future use. They're too hot to be doing anything with tonight. Well guys, thanks for coming along while I canned up the ground beef for this October video collab. As always, if you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel, and we'll see you next time.